This has got to be one of the most impressive movies I've seen in a good while. Get comfortably uncomfortable. At first glance, from the very opening scene, I can tell we were going to look at something very artsy and very calculated. From color schemes to shot sizes as a whole, this was one of the most impressive films I've ever seen. This wasn't exactly my first introduction to the film director Robert Eggers' work. When looking back on the catalog of films that he both wrote and directed, one movie stood out to me, and it was the movie The Witch in 2015. From that moment, I could tell that this movie was going to have a very similar feel to it. This movie setup is truly a nod to a stupendous grip and lighting department because of how well they lit not just the entire movie, but the scenes capturing Count Orlok. They took from the classic film and made the interactions between Thomas Hooter and the Count even more uncomfortable, especially since we couldn't see the Count's face at first. As the movie progresses, more of his appearance is shown, which links back to the very first scene in the dream sequence of Thomas's wife, Ellen. This is one of the things I love about the movie. It's not about jump scares, sound effects, or gore. It's about creating moments and generating an idea in the audience's head. That's how you know if you've hooked them. If you want an example of two films that does this very well, then look at the movie called A Quiet Place and the movie remake of The Woman in Black, and you can understand mood, pacing, and creating tension with the environment, be it in the daytime or at night, from just these two films. The acting from the entire cast was spot on. I was actually shocked by Bill Skarsgård's performance as Count Orlok. I've only come to know him from his portrayal of that clown from the remake of It and It Chapter 2. Bill's performance was even more impeccable, a definite opposite from Pennywise. From the dialect to even the way of breathing in the shadows makes you feel uncomfortable. And looking at Thomas's reaction to Orlok makes you even more uncomfortable. And not in a funny way, because when I was in the theater, most of the room was silent, which was a good sign. There were also two actors that stood out to me the most from this movie. The first was, of course, Ellen, played by Lily Rose Depp, aka Johnny Depp's daughter. I see a trend here, people. She took the Ellen role and worked it into her own, which wasn't a distraction from the narrative, and did not pollute the original classic. In fact, it made you even more uncomfortable because as the Count drew closer to Ellen, the stronger the hold he had on Ellen, thus causing an increase to Ellen's hysteria, which was a nice touch. The second character that also stood out to me was Professor Franz, who was played by none other than Sam Raimi's Norman Osborn, aka William Dafoe. You could just tell from all his past movies that William had a blast on set, and everyone is overjoyed to have him. Dafoe made his portrayal of the professor his own, which wasn't a distraction but a deeper look into the character as a whole, from his introduction in the movie to the very end. In essence, this movie really reminded me of just about any tragedy written by William Shakespeare. Together, the cast and crew truly created a work of art. How? Well, this next video will explain everything you need to know about the 2024 remake.